My name is Kezia Sanie. I'm the founder and president of For the Future Ghana, an NGO, and I'm also a professional law student at the Ghana School of Law. I'm young and thriving. This is totally passion driven, and it's also I see it as me walking in my purpose because, like I said, it's something I've always been thinking about, something I've been harnessing. So what happened was, in West Girls High School, when we were coming home on vacation, we usually like to have our hairs bushy so we can braid, yes. And we were mixing up some hair creams for that. And then suddenly people started saying the cream is for the future, for the future. And it sounded interesting. It was like a movement. Everybody was saying it. And I was thinking of ways by which we can make it actually a thing because the name resonated with me. I like the name For the Future. I just liked it. Then I was like, we should start a charity because it's something I've been thinking about the whole time. Besides, there were these little boys who used to come around our pantries to steal our snacks. And I've been thinking deeply about those things. And I realized that there's really a problem, and a problem of poverty. These children do not have food to eat, and that's the reason why they are stealing from us and basically taking our food. So they were like, why not? Everybody hopped on, and it was amazing. We decided to tell our teachers, and one of them decided to help us by partnering with us to do our first ever charitable project in Ashaiman. So that's really how we kickstarted it. After that, we had our own charitable event by ourselves, and this is how far we've come. So for the law, it was actually suggested to me because honestly, when I was growing up, I was doing so many things. I used to do like debates. I was chosen to represent my school for debates. I used to do writing, like I used to win competitions, that kind of thing. So when I got to the point where I had to decide what's next in uni, because in West Girls High School I did general arts and my grades were good by God's grace. I actually had straight A's. So it was like, go and read law. Like, what else is there for you? Go and read law. I must be honest that initially I wasn't sure, but I did a number of internships and going to court and seeing how the law was being practiced. I was like, you know what, it's actually not that bad. And I was also doing quite well with the law, in fact. So I decided to continue pursuing it. And the law helps me with advocacy and activism, such that I'm thinking of a full career where I can pursue law and run FTF together with that, and working with international organizations and making policies that's going to help the underprivileged children, and also being on the field to ensure that these policies are being implemented, and also making sure that all the children we work with, all the children I come into contact with can reach their full potential using the law as well. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I always say that when I'm driving in town, I look around a lot. I pay attention to people's demeanor, how people are, acting, and especially these children who come around to beg for money. What I think to myself is that, what happens to these children? Like, when it's raining, where do they go to? Have they eaten today? And if nobody gives them any money, what's going to happen to them tonight? Where do they sleep? Personally, I always say that I believe that everybody was born with a special gift. Now, what happens is some people, in fact, most people do die with their gifts. And that's because they never harness them. Not by their faults, but sometimes just because of their social circumstance. No one helps them, no one guides them. They lack all of those, especially these children I'm talking about, underprivileged children. So I have been always thinking about the ways by which we can hold their hands, help them to develop their strengths and potential, where everybody can be who they are meant to be in the society. So that's the more reason why For the Future Ghana is, working towards this, where we identify underprivileged children, we sponsor them through school, we connect them to resource persons, we give them all the resources that they need, everything they need to be able to go to school, to be able to learn, to be able to have that decent life that every child should ideally have. But just because they were born into a family or a home, or to a single mother or on the streets, by no fault of theirs anyway. They have to go through these very harsh and unpleasant circumstances. So that's the more reason why I am very passionate about the work we do for the Future Ghana. I really want to see that these children can make it in life, just like I have had the opportunity to. I think the success story is the fact that most of these children, where we pick them from, today when you see them, you can tell a very big difference in their lives, especially with the one that everybody knows as FCS star girl, Elizabeth. In fact, when we picked her up, she was almost 2 years old. Her mother had abandoned her, father had abandoned her. She was staying with her grandmother in an uncompleted house. No, she had never been to school, and she also could not speak anything in English. But we took her to school, we paid for everything, we bought her uniforms, books, we visited her from time to time. And today, she will chat with you in English, she will smile with you. In fact, everybody knows how Elizabeth will always frown her face. Like in the beginning, she won't even open up, but now she's so friendly. And I think it's all because she realizes that she has that kind of love and care that we give her. And many of our other children are also going through this phase where they are living decent lives as they ought to. So I think that's the success story. The success story is that we are able to help these children to meet their most pressing needs. In the past, especially when we started, we were doing a lot of family and friends. So like I said, when I came home, I told my dad about this new organization that I wanted to start based on my passion, helping other people. And he really encouraged me. So in fact, the first funding that we got was from him and my uncle, who used to charter the bus that we used to carry our entire team to wherever we used to go. Because when we started in high school, we had our friends from other schools joining us. So we had the philanthropist, this school, and all the other schools you can think of joined us. So we were many, actually we were a lot. In fact, now we've reduced because a lot of people have had other things to do, other things came up, and you know how life happens. So yes, that was in the beginning. But now we found sponsors, benefactors for most of the children, and they also double as mentors. So they send them money every month. Some do quarterly, some do yearly, and just to support the work we do for them. And then when we have major projects, we do send in letters to corporate organizations to support us with funds, and most of the time in kind. So we've had Bella Kwa, Indomie, Cowbell, all those really amazing companies that support this kind of work come through for us big time to support our work. So we are always having enough, and I think it's also because of the way we build enough credibility over the years, and we have people see our work, the work that we do. So people actually also reach out to give us a lot of things. Personally, people reach out to me through my DMs on Twitter, on Instagram, even LinkedIn, and then also through our official accounts that they have this, so they want to give it to us because they've seen the work we are doing. Last year, someone gave us vouchers for MaxMart to shop for the children, provisions worth about 2,500 cedis. We're so surprised because we don't know the person from anywhere. The person just says, I've seen your work and I want to support you with this. So most of the money has also come from crowdfunding. People do send in a lot of funds for their children based on what they see, based on the stories we're telling and the impact we are making as well. The legacy or impact I want to leave here on earth. I think I want to be remembered for, identifying people that otherwise they would have maybe died with their skills or their gifts that God gave them, and otherwise they wouldn't have met the helper that they need. I believe in destiny helpers. Personally, I have had some destiny helpers. So there's just one person that can meet you and change your life, turn your life around in one day, in 1 year. And I want to be that kind of person for these children. So I want to be remembered to be that woman that helped thousands of children to reach their full potential, thousands of children to get that kind of development that they really needed in their childhood and to become who they are meant to be. And I like to teach, I like to mentor, I like to coach. So I want to also be remembered for that, being a great teacher to these children and making sure that their ethics, their manners, and all of those things that makes a human being who they are meant to be all come out. Why I love children so much? children are very innocent, even though, like, I mean, they do things that you like, hey, this child, what's she doing, or what's he doing? But children are innocent. Children are born innocent, and children are also very vulnerable. So, you know, as an adult, at least you've been able to get to a point where at least one thing you can hustle small and survive for yourself, you know. But then the child really needs that kind of guidance, support, especially because as they are growing, they pick up certain habits, in fact. So that kind of guidance is needed to make a child. I know even in criminal law, in criminal procedure, we say that if a child does a wrong in society is to be blamed, because a child is supposed to be picking up those, you know, good behaviors and other things from the adults. So a child basically is supposed to be brought up by an adult in a way that when they grow up, they will not depart from it. So I feel like that's the more reason why I'm drawn to children, because in fact I like the way they are innocent and they are so adorable. Apart from the fact that I run FTF and I help these underprivileged children, I also teach elementary school children, like I said, and these children are not even underprivileged, but every time I spend with them, I am so happy to teach them. I'm so happy to impart knowledge, and I'm always thinking about the next generation, because I feel like there are certain things that I got, yes, but then there are also certain things that I feel like could have been done better for me to perhaps maybe be even a better person. So I think that's why I like children. I like children because I'm just moved to always be with them. I love them. I love to be with them. I'm passionate about them, and I'm passionate about their well-being, their total well-being. We are obviously not where we used to be, because in fact now when you mention for the future, there are many people who know about us. People even approach me sometimes and they'll be like, Kezia, I know you on social media. Aren't you the one who helps the children with the NGO? Yes, I think that's success for people to recognize you, to know what you do, and also when they see you, that's what they know you for, you see. And we've also been awarded with certain awards in the past. I was awarded with the Female Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2020 by the Young Achievers Summit, and then FTF won the Initiative of the Year. And last year, Pulse Ghana also awarded us with the Community Influencer of the Year award. It was a Pan-African award, so the fact that people voted in their numbers for us, you know, tells us a lot about how far we've come as FTF. And the mere fact that we are even able to enroll children in school, the fact that whenever they need something, we're able to give it to them, the fact that we're able to mobilize them for events, for trainings, we get people to speak to them, to mentor them. And then even for those of them who have talents, like Prince Kojo, who is able to make toy cars with wood, we're able to supply him with the things that he needs to make his car. And currently we are working very earnestly to get him in a very good place where he can, you know, hone this skill to become an engineer, because that's really what he wants to become. I feel like those things are some of the successes for the future Ghana that even in fact differentiates us from other organizations. The fact that we are present in the life of these children, and the fact that they're able to notice us as their second parents, as their only parents, as their friends, I think is very laudable as FTF at this point. What I would tell my 42-year-old self is that now I'm working very hard to get to where I want to be, and so at that point where at least I've achieved a number of things, because definitely, hopefully by that time I'll be a lawyer and I'll also still be running FTF full time. I hope to not forget the reason why I started, and then on days that I want to give up, I hope to remember the roots or the way FTF started, the number of children we've impacted. Hopefully, even at that time, I hope that we'll have more children that we are taking care of, thousands and millions of children all over the world. I hope that we're able to strive, be relentless, and not give up, so that what we are doing now at 22, we can do even more at 42.